Hello, you have reached the Texas Abuse Hotline of the Department of Family and Protective Services. If you wish to continue in Spanish, press 2 now. Para continuar en español, oprime el 2 ahora. If your call is regarding case records, press 1. To report suspected abuse, neglect, or exploitation, press 2.
To report concerns regarding children, the elderly, and adults with disabilities, press 1 or remain on the line.
You have selected to make a report of abuse, neglect, or exploitation. Calls may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. Be prepared to provide the intake specialist with as much information as possible. You will be asked for the names, ages, location, and contact information of the persons involved, in addition to your concerns for their health and safety. Please be aware there are criminal and civil penalties for knowingly making a false report of abuse, neglect, or exploitation. Malicious false reporting may result in a state jail felony, a $1,000 civil penalty, and may be grounds for a court to modify child custody orders. You are protected if you make a report in good faith. Customer satisfaction is important to us, and to help us improve, please take a brief survey about your experience. To participate, remain on the line after your call ends. Thank you for remaining on the line until the next available intake specialist can help you. Be prepared to provide as much information as possible. You will be asked for the names, ages, location, and contact information of the persons involved, in addition to your concerns for their health and safety. If you are calling to provide more information to a report you previously made, please have your report ID number ready. If your concerns do not require immediate agency intervention, you may file your report online at txabusehotline.org 24 hours a day. If your matter requires our immediate attention, please remain on the line and an intake specialist will be with you as soon as possible. Disconnecting the call will delay our response time. The Texas Abuse Hotline receives reports of abuse and neglect that are forwarded to county offices for investigation and ongoing protective services. Contact the county office to speak to a caseworker regarding an existing case. Go to www.dfps.state.tx.us for county office locations and phone numbers. The Texas Youth Hotline can be reached 24 hours a day at 1-800-989-6884 to provide prevention services to youth, parents, and other family members who are in need of a caring voice and sympathetic ear. To learn more, visit www.texasyouth.org. Thank you for remaining on the line until the next available intake specialist can help you. Be prepared to provide as much information as possible. You will be asked for the names, ages, location, and contact information of the persons involved, in addition to your concerns for their health and safety. If you are calling to provide more information to a report you previously made, please have your report ID number ready.
So we're now at almost 8 minutes waiting on the phone.
If your concerns do not require immediate agency intervention, you may file your report online at txabusehotline.org 24 hours a day. If your matter requires our immediate attention, please remain on the line and an intake specialist will be with you as soon as possible. Disconnecting the call will delay our response time.
9 minutes.
The Texas Abuse Hotline receives reports of abuse and neglect that are forwarded to county offices for investigation and ongoing protective services. Contact the county office to speak to a caseworker regarding an existing case. Go to www.dfps.state.tx.us for county office locations and phone numbers. The Texas Youth Hotline can be reached 24 hours a day at 1-800-989-6884 to provide prevention services to youth, parents, and other family members who are in need of a caring voice and sympathetic ear. To learn more, visit www.texasyouth.org.
12 minutes.
Thank you for remaining on the line until the next available intake specialist can help you. Be prepared to provide as much information as possible. You will be asked for the names, ages, location, and contact information of the persons involved, in addition to your concerns for their health and safety. If you are calling to provide more information to a report you previously made, please have your report ID number ready.
13 minutes and 39 seconds.
If your concerns do not require immediate agency intervention, you may file your report online at txabusehotline.org 24 hours a day. If your matter requires our immediate attention, please remain on the line and an intake specialist will be with you as soon as possible. Disconnecting the call will delay our response time.
15 minutes and 5 seconds.
The Texas Abuse Hotline receives reports of abuse and neglect that are forwarded to county offices for investigation and ongoing protective services. Contact the county office to speak to a caseworker regarding an existing case. Go to www.dfps.state.tx.us for county office locations and phone numbers.
16 minutes and 30 seconds and still no answer on the CPS, DFPS, whatever hotline. 16 minutes and now 45 seconds.
The Texas Youth Hotline can be reached 24 hours a day at 1-800-989-6884 to provide prevention services to youth, parents, and other family members who are in need of a caring voice and sympathetic ear. To learn more, visit www.texasyouth.org.
17 minutes and 55 seconds on the hotline and still no person.
Thank you for remaining on the line until the next available intake specialist can help you. Be prepared to provide as much information as possible. You will be asked for the names, ages, location, and contact information of the persons involved, in addition to your concerns for their health and safety. If you are calling to provide more information to a report you previously made, please have your report ID number ready.
19 minutes and 25 seconds. This is the hotline. The taxpayers are paying for the hotline, waiting for the intake specialist. It's a hotline. 19 minutes and 40 seconds.
If your concerns do not require immediate agency intervention, you may file your report online at txabusehotline.org 24 hours a day. If your matter requires our immediate attention, please remain on the line and an intake specialist will be with you as soon as possible. Disconnecting the call will delay our response time.
20 minutes and 53 seconds on the hotline. Still waiting. Wait, because we need an immediate response. This is what your taxpayer dollars are paying for. Good thing it's not something urgent, right? This is the hotline.
The Texas Abuse Hotline receives reports of abuse and neglect that are forwarded to county offices for investigation and ongoing protective services. Contact the county office to speak to a caseworker regarding an existing case. Go to www.dfps.state.tx.us for county office locations and phone numbers.
No, I'd rather stay on the hotline because I know I'll get immediate attention. Immediate being defined as at least 22 minutes and 30 seconds later. So how long should I stay waiting for this hotline? They're waiting for an intake specialist.
Hello. Thank you for calling Statewide Intake. My name is Janicek. My employee ID is 5569. May I have your first and last name, please?
Sure, yes. You said it was 5569, is that right? And what was your first name? I'm sorry, I missed that.
First name is Janicek, and I can spell that for you.
Sure.
Like,
That would be great.
it's going to be AARONIQUE.
Great, thank you so much, Janicek. My name is Jeffrey Morgan. What information do you need from me?
Okay, and if I could just have an address for you.
Yes, my address is
Okay, and is that going to be a business or a residential address?
that is residential.
Okay, and if I could have a phone number for you.
Sure.
And is that going to be personal?
That's my personal cell phone, yes.
And would you like to provide a secondary number?
No, that's it. This will be the best number to reach me at.
Okay. And are you calling to make a report about a child or an adult?
I'm calling to make a report about a child.
Okay. And what is your relationship to the child?
I know the child. I've met the child. I know the child's father, and I see what's going on right now, and I believe, firmly believe that there is child abuse taking place, not by the father, but by the mother and a couple of other people.
Okay. And do you have the child's first and last name?
Yes, his first name is James, James. His last name is Younger, Younger.
And do you have an address for the child?
I do not have an address for the child.
Okay. Do you know what city the child lives in?
It's either it's probably in the Denton area, Dallas-Denton area, and not maybe in Capella. I'm not exactly sure where, but I think it would be something that you'll be easily able to find. I don't have the information, the personal information as far as the address and so on. It's the mother's address.
Okay. And I just asked because we just have to have a county to send it to. But if, you know, I'm going to put Denton, but if it's Dallas, they can just have it routed to the Dallas office. They work pretty closely together.
Sure. If you have a case number, I can send that to you. If you have a case number and email, as soon as I get that information, I will email it to you because I probably can find it here. I just didn't know what was necessary at this point.
Okay, understand. If you can't get it now, you can always call back and update us later. Or
I'd probably like to do it via.
Usually just give the report number at the end of the call.
Okay, good enough. Yeah, because I'd rather probably do the report because it took me by email because I was waiting almost 25 minutes just to get through to you, and honestly, I don't have the time to wait that long. So it'd be easier for me to send an email with the report number, update that information.
Okay. And we also have an online system for making reports too, if that's also something that you're interested in. It takes a little bit longer to process those. I believe it's about 72 hours, but less wait time.
Right. No, I'll do it via phone right now.
And do you have the child's date of birth or an approximate age?
His age is 9 years old.
And you stated that he lives with the mother?
Yes, he does. He and his brother live with his mother.
And would you happen to have the child's social or anyone else's social?
No, again, I could probably get that information for you, but I to be honest with you, I've never reported anybody like this before, so I just didn't know what information was necessary. So I can probably get that information for you.
No worries. We just try to collect as much information as possible, but if you don't have something, it could always just be added later.
Sure.
It doesn't
Sure.
impact it that much. But do you have the child's race/ethnicity?
Yes, he's just a white child. I mean, I don't know as far as. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than that he's a white child.
Okay. And do you have the mom's first and last name?
Yes, the mom's first name is Anne, Anne. And her last name is Georgulas, Georgulas.
Okay. And do you have a phone number for mom?
I do not. Again, I could probably get that. No, I can get that information. I just did not know what I would need to provide right now. I'll get additional information for you.
Okay, no worries. I just have to ask all the questions. But if
Absolutely.
you don't have it, it's okay.
No, I understand. I appreciate you.
And would you happen to have the mother's date of birth or an approximate age?
I'm thinking her age is probably around 50, but I really don't have a date of birth.
Okay, no worries. And do you know her marital status?
She's divorced.
And is mom also white, non-Hispanic?
That is
To
correct.
the best of knowledge?
Yes.
And then do you have the name for the sibling in the household?
Yes, his name is Jude, Jude, and they're actually twins.
Okay. And is there anyone else that lives in the house?
I am not positive about that.
Okay.
I only know the sons.
And what are the primary concerns that you were calling about today?
So right now, and obviously as you can tell because of the situation, you asked about marital status, and that is a divorce situation. The mom has the children, and she has kept the children from the father for over a year. I guess he's allowed to have supervised visitation, but he is a very good dad. And I've been with him. He's an outstanding dad. And she's using the court system to try to kick the dad completely out of the children's lives and also to try to terminate his rights because she wants to take James and is trying to get him some type of transgender therapy with puberty blockers and other things along those lines. I have a court order here, but she's trying to terminate his rights. And it's very abusive what's taking place. I was down at the trial for 5 days. I witnessed everything. There is an attorney who I believe also should be investigated. Her name is Jessica Janicek out of Koons law firm. And I also believe that Judge Mary Brown should be investigated as well. Because according to the Attorney General's opinion, what they're trying to do to James is child abuse. Right now what the mother's trying to do is get permission to change the children's names, to move to a different state, and basically to get passports for them and everything else. I do not believe it is for good reasons. I believe that she's trying to transition him as a 9-year-old. And I've talked with many people about this, gay, lesbian, transsexuals. They also all believe this is child abuse. And this is what's going on within our legal system. They are using the legal system to enable child abuse. So this hearing is coming up. I believe it's on Friday. It's supposed to be online. I've been following this for, I think, 2 to 3 years now. I've lost track of time with COVID and everything. I think it's 3 years I've been following it. And I just cannot believe that in the state of Texas, this is happening. This type of abuse is happening. And again, the Attorney General's opinion, I have it right here in front of me. It's KP0401. It was issued February 18th of 2022. Jamie Masters, the director of DFPS, has said this as child abuse. And I believe what they're trying to do, this is, again, I don't know this for a fact, but I very, if you see something, say something. I believe she's trying to take the twins to another state where she can actually transition or start to do stuff to James. There have been some talks about her going up to Oregon, which is much more liberal than Texas. And again, I don't care. At this point in time, it's child abuse, and they're using the court systems, and the attorney and the judge, in my opinion, are facilitating child abuse. Our governor's spoken about this.
Why do you think mom is trying to, take the child in order to transition him?
Because this has been her pattern. Right now, she sends him to school dressed as a girl, and he's a boy. I've seen him. I've met him. He's a boxer. He's an athlete. She's forcing him to go to school as a girl. She's sometimes puts jewelry on him, makes him wear wigs, stuff like that, longer hair. And this has been, she's taken her son to a, what do you call it, like a transgender clinic up in Dallas. They had counselors that are doing this. They've rigged the entire system to try to play in favor so that a 9-year-old boy, who is a boy, they're going to try to transition him. This has been going on. This has made national headlines. It's made headlines in Texas. It's made national headlines in throughout the states, and it's even made international headlines. And right now, the Koons law firm's attorney, Jessica Janicek, is trying to use the courts to facilitate this abuse. That's my opinion. That's my assessment. Again, I've been following this for several years. And I've interviewed the people in person. I've not talked with the mother. I don't think that they want to talk to me, but the attorney knows me. The judges know me. Mr. Younger knows me. There's many other people that will testify that this is child abuse going on, and they're using the courts to set up a situation where they can abuse James.
And do you know? So you said the mom is trying to get him some kind of puberty blockers. Do you know if she has done that already, or?
She was trying to do that, I believe, when he was 8. I don't know, because the way that the motion is written right now, it talks about neither parent may treat a child with hormonal suppression therapy, puberty blockers, and or transgender reassignment surgery, if any, without the consent of the parents or court order. But it's giving her the exclusive right to do this. And this whole thing does not make sense. I know this attorney, I think, is a weasel. I'm sorry to put it in those terms. And I think that she's intentionally using procedural and legal gimmicks to try to make it so that they have the appearance that everything is okay. That's my opinion. And I think that many people share that opinion.
And do you have any concerns that there's any physical abuse going on in the household?
Well, as far as the physical abuse, that's a question that I can't answer. But abuse is defined more broadly and is also considered to be emotional. And this is something where the boy does not want to be a girl, but the mother is forcing that upon him. The boy does not want to go to school dressed as a girl. This is the mother playing out a fantasy of some sort, as it appears to me. And then if you go...
Do you know if the child has said that himself, or this is just kind of what you...
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know that he said it. There's been more than one individual can testify to that. Again, I've met the child. I know, I don't know him well, but I've met him. He's a boy. This is abuse, and it's taking place here in Dallas, Texas.
Okay. me one moment. I'm just going to place you on a brief hold as I speak with my supervisor.
Sure, absolutely.
I'll be right back with you shortly.
Thank you. I know that the attorney, by the way, I know that I think it was Jeff Mateer when he worked for the Attorney General's office. I think he even wrote something to CPS or the DFPS. I'm not sure which one to investigate, but that was before Jamie Masters declared this to be child abuse. And before the Attorney General's opinion came out.
Okay.
Thank you.
So right now, the only guideline that we have is just a parent is forcing a child to undergo any kind of sexual reassignment surgery. It doesn't appear, I guess that's what you are saying mom is trying to do, or is trying to move to another state so that she can do that, or I don't know if mom has said anything about surgery.
Well, they've been talking about that. First off, prior to this stuff, you do the social transitioning. Again, if you look at KP0401 as of February the 18th, 2022, I think it's very plain. I believe this stuff is falling under the category of child abuse. And I know that my responsibility is to report. Your responsibility is to investigate. And I think that it's not just the mother doing this. I believe also the attorney, Jessica Janicek, and even Mary Brown are in on this whole thing. And I can show you, there's a lot of stuff I could show you as evidence if you needed it.
Well, just give me one moment as I get with my supervisor.
Sure, absolutely.
Hello again. Thank you for holding.
Sure.
Okay. Do you know, I guess, have you spoken to the child and have you said anything about like how his mental state is during this time?
So the child has not been able to be seen, has not been seen by his father for a year because they want him to pay to see the child. I did see him prior to this whole most recent temporary order being put into effect. And again, I just look at the Attorney General's opinion, and he talks about subsection 261.0011B and talks about, the causing or permitting the child to be in a situation in which the child sustains a mental or emotional injury that results in an observable and material impairment in the child's growth, development, or psychological functioning is abuse. And failure to make a reasonable effort to prevent an action by another person that results in physical injury. Of course, that's talking about the physical part there. But the opinion of the Attorney General makes it very, very clear that anything that deals with mental or emotional issues, the development of a child, is considered to be abuse, using both the Texas Family Code and also different case law as well that they've talked about. And again, if you look...
If you know you're unsure if the child is experiencing any observable or... I do not have firsthand knowledge, but your duty is to investigate. My duty is to report. Absolutely.
It is important to note that anyone who has a reasonable cause to believe that a child's physical or mental health or welfare has been adversely affected by abuse or neglect by any person shall immediately make a report as described in the Family Code, Texas Family Code 261.101A. That's my responsibility, is to report. And yours is to investigate. I have a reasonable cause to believe that the child's physical or I don't know about the physical part, but the mental health and welfare has been adversely affected by abuse or neglect by any person, and I would also add by the attorney Jessica Janicek and by the judge Mary Brown. I've already filed complaints against Mary Brown for various things too. And Jessica Janicek will be reported to the bar as well. This is abuse. There's no question in anybody's mind, in the majority of people's minds, except for those that have an agenda, that this is abuse. And there is very much of a reasonable cause to believe that the child's mental health or welfare has been adversely affected by him being with his mother, who's trying to make him believe that he's a girl. He's not a girl. And he knows it.
Okay. Can you just give me one moment? I just have to get back with my supervisor.
Sure.
Okay. Hello again.
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible that I could get that lawyer's last name? I have her first name is Jessica, but I'm not sure how to spell the last name.
Sure. Her last name is Janicek. It's Janicek. And I can provide you with an email and phone number for her.
I can just take the phone number.
Okay, let me get it here for you. Just a moment here. Her phone number is 817-481-2710. I can give you her bar number. Do you want her bar number?
Judge's name?
Mary Brown. And she's the district court judge of the 301st District Court in Dallas, Texas.
And then what is the father's name?
The father's name is Jeffrey Younger. Younger.
And do you have a phone number for him?
Yes, give me just a moment and I will pull it up here, okay? Let's see here. His number is
Okay. And do you know if anyone in the report has any medical conditions, disabilities, or special needs?
I don't believe that there's anybody that has any of those conditions.
Okay.
This is not a medical necessity, if that's the question that you're kind of getting to. It has nothing to do with medical necessity. This has to do with the mother. I mean, I'm not saying that it's Munchausen by proxy. I've heard that thrown around quite a bit. It's even mentioned in the Attorney General's opinion. I don't know what this is, but except that it's child abuse.
No, that's just a general question
Right.
that we asked.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, I've never done this before. I mean, obviously for me to do this, because I know that if I'm lying to you, you can come after me, and I'm putting my name, my address, everything out there. I reasonably believe this is child abuse. I am not afraid to say this. And so if anybody wants to come and look at me, I have no hesitation in defending my assertions.
And then I am going to go ahead and send this out to CPS for further investigation.
Okay.
And I also have a report number for your records.
Well, that's great. And then how? Okay, go ahead. Do you need me to update anything then as well?
If you would like to call back and provide, I guess, like addresses or phone numbers, you can use that number as a reference.
Great.
Also, sometimes if the family has like any CPS history, we'll already just have it in the system.
Got it. Okay. So the case number is
76
66
66
66
65
65
56.
56.
Yes.
So let me read that back to you. I have 76666 556.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Erinique, thank you so much for talking with me here. Thank you for being so pleasant. I appreciate it. Again, I've never done this before. I honestly, to be quite honest with you, I'm not really even a fan of CPS. So for me to take this step is a pretty big step. It's a pretty major step on my part. But I want to thank you for being so courteous with me and and so on listening. Thank you.
Well, thank you for calling in today, and have a great rest of your day.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye now.